God says, you were wrong, very wrong, and this is not something to ignore, not something to push aside as though it were small, because I am speaking to you directly, and when I speak, the heavens pause, the angels listen, the winds shift, and even the stars in their silent distance lean closer. For my words carry weight that eternity cannot erase. You must understand that being wrong is not the end of you, but pretending you were not wrong, pretending you cannot hear me, pretending the conviction inside your spirit is nothing more than passing thoughts, that is the danger. This is why I am commanding you to open this immediately, to let it pierce through every layer of denial, every wall you have built, every comfort you used to silence your conscience, because the truth is here, and the truth cannot be delayed any longer. I saw you when you were convinced of your own way, when you clung to your reasoning, when you thought you had it figured out, and I did not interrupt you with force, because I wanted you to learn. I allowed you to walk, I allowed you to choose, I allowed you to carry the weight of your decision. And now you feel it, the heaviness, the emptiness, the sting of realizing that what you thought would save you has not saved you, what you thought would make you whole has only fractured you, what you thought would bring you peace has led you into restlessness. This is why I say again, you were wrong, very wrong, and I am calling you to awaken before you waste more time, before you miss what I placed before you, before the thief comes to steal more than what he has already taken. You were wrong about that person you trusted blindly, wrong about the one you thought carried love in their words, when behind their smile was calculation. You were wrong about the one who claimed to be your friend, but their loyalty was thin as paper, breaking the moment pressure came. You were wrong about the one who swore they loved you, but in their silence at night, their heart spoke a different language. You saw glimpses, you felt hints, you even heard my whispers, but you chose to shut them down because the comfort of believing the lie felt safer than the pain of accepting the truth. I saw it, I warned you, I tugged at you, but you wanted so much to believe that they were different, that this time it was real, that this connection could be trusted. You were wrong, very wrong, and the truth has already been revealed in heaven, and soon it will manifest before your eyes on earth. You were wrong when you thought I was not listening to your prayers, when you cried and felt nothing, when you waited and thought I had abandoned you. You whispered, God, where are you? And you thought silence meant absence. You were wrong, because I was closer than your breath, I was aligning things in silence, I was protecting you from doors you begged me to open that would have destroyed you. I was there, even when you accused me of being distant. My silence was not neglect, it was strategy. I was moving in ways you could not see. I was holding back floods that would have drowned you, and yet you said, God forgot me. You were wrong, very wrong, and today I am exposing that lie from the pit of hell that made you think you were abandoned. You have never been abandoned. You have never been forsaken. You were wrong when you thought your mistakes disqualified you permanently. You looked at your failures, your shame, your hidden sins, and you said, this is who I am now, this is my identity, I am ruined. But I never called you ruined. I never named you shame. I never looked at you and said, hopeless. You were wrong, because my grace has always been stronger than your failure, my mercy has always outrun your guilt, my blood has always shouted louder than your past. You thought you were disqualified, But in my kingdom, your weakness becomes the stage where my strength performs. You thought you were useless, but I have written destiny over you, a destiny the enemy cannot erase. You were wrong, very wrong, and I am correcting you now, because I do not want you to live beneath your calling another day. You were wrong when you thought you could hide your pain, hide your tears, hide the nights you broke down alone. You were wrong when you thought nobody noticed, when you thought you were invisible. You are not invisible to me. Every tear you have cried, I have counted. Every sleepless night, I have been awake beside you. Every moment you said nothing to anyone, you spoke to me without realizing it. I was listening, even when your lips were silent. I was recording, even when your hands wiped away your own tears. You were wrong when you thought you had to carry it all by yourself. I am the burden bearer, I am the healer, I am the one who steps into the broken places and restores what you thought was beyond repair. You were wrong when you thought time was gone, when you thought it was too late. You looked at your age, your season, your delays, and you said, "It cannot happen anymore. I missed it, I lost it." You were wrong, very wrong, because I am not bound by time. I am not limited by what man calls too late. I raise the dead. I restore wasted years. I give beauty for ashes. I make rivers flow in deserts. I turn mourning into dancing. And yet you said, "Too late." You were wrong, because I am still able, I am still moving, I am still capable of doing in one moment what decades could not achieve. You were wrong when you thought you were unloved. You were wrong when you believed the rejection of people defined your worth. You were wrong when you measured your value by who stayed and who left. You were wrong, because I have loved you with an everlasting love, and no betrayal, no abandonment, no rejection can cancel that. The love I have for you is not conditional, not seasonal, not fragile. It is unshakable, unending, unchanging. And yet you said, "Nobody loves me." You were wrong, very wrong, because I love you with a love that heaven sings about, with a love that the cross proved once and for all. You were wrong when you thought the battle would destroy you. You saw the storm, you felt the pressure, you looked at the size of what came against you, and you thought, "This is the end." But you were wrong. Because even when weapons formed, they could not prosper. Even when attacks came, they could not overtake you. Even when plans were plotted, I overturned them. You thought the storm would break you, but it built you. You thought the fire would consume you, but it refined you. You thought the wilderness would leave you lost, but it taught you my voice. You were wrong, very wrong, because what the enemy meant for evil, I turned for good, and what you thought would end you is now part of the testimony that will lift you. And now, listen to me carefully. This is urgent. This is not for tomorrow, not for later. Open it immediately, because your delay has already cost too much. If you continue in stubbornness, you will miss the very thing you were born for. If you keep pretending you are not hearing me, you will wander in circles when I am trying to move you forward. If you keep silencing the truth I am shouting, you will sit in chains when the key is in your hand. This is your moment of exposure, not to shame you, but to free you. Not to destroy you, but to deliver you. Not to condemn you, but to awaken you. You were wrong, but you do not have to remain wrong. I am giving you another chance. I am giving you clarity. I am giving you mercy that you do not deserve, but I delight to give. You cannot waste this moment. You cannot pretend this is not for you. You cannot assume this is just another message. This is me, speaking directly to you, telling you, you were wrong, but I am here. You were wrong, but I forgive you. You were wrong, but I will restore you. You were wrong, but I am not leaving you in wrongness, I am pulling you into truth. Do not close your heart. Do not scroll past. Do not cover your ears. Open now, open immediately, because heaven is watching, angels are waiting, and the moment you respond, the moment you turn, the moment you say, God, I was wrong, but I receive your correction, the chains will break, the lies will lose their power, and the floodgates of my favor will pour out over you. This is your moment. This is your warning. This is your invitation. You were wrong, very wrong, but my love is still greater. God says, you were wrong, very wrong, and this is why you are receiving this message right now. Do not take this lightly, because what is coming to you is not something ordinary. It is not something to brush aside. It is not something you should say, maybe tomorrow, maybe later. No. God says, open it immediately. This is the hour of revelation. This is the moment when truth and exposure are pouring into your spirit, and you are standing at the crossroads of your destiny. You have doubted, you have delayed, you have thought you had more time, but the divine voice is telling you now with urgency, you cannot afford to wait, you cannot afford to dismiss, because heaven is holding something that concerns your very life, your future, your safety, your relationships, your finances, and the generations that come after you. And the Lord says, you were wrong and very wrong, to think that what was hidden would remain hidden forever. You were wrong to think that you could handle this in silence. You were wrong to believe that no one would know. You were wrong to underestimate the power of heaven to uncover, to shake, to turn everything around and bring it to light. This message is not to condemn you, but to awaken you, to shake your soul out of slumber. God is telling you that the reason you were wrong is because you relied too much on your own understanding, your own reasoning, your own way of analyzing things. You thought you had figured it out. You thought you were safe. You thought the voices whispering against you could not hurt you. You thought the meetings in secret rooms would not touch your life. But God says, you were wrong, very wrong. He saw what they said behind your back. He saw the ones who swore loyalty to you but sold you in private. He saw the one you trusted most take part in what would harm you. And he says, you need to open this message immediately, because this is no longer a time for blindness, no longer a time for delay. Archangel Michael has stood near your life with his sword drawn. Do you know why? Because the lies spoken about you were not ordinary gossip, they were attacks meant to destroy your destiny. The words that were crafted against you were not casual conversations, they were arrows formed to pierce your spirit. And heaven cried when you ignored the warning signs, when you dismissed the little nudges, when you thought, "No, this can't be real, this can't be true." You were wrong, very wrong, because God had already been whispering to you in your dreams, through sudden feelings of unrest, through moments when you felt something was not right, but you silenced it. And now the divine voice says again, open this message immediately, because if you keep ignoring, the delay will cost you what heaven has been protecting all this time. You were wrong, but you are not forsaken. You were wrong, but you are not abandoned. You were wrong, but this is the mercy of God. He is giving you this chance again. Do not mistake this mercy for weakness, because this could be your last chance to see clearly what heaven is trying to put in your hands. God says, there are documents with your name on them that were almost stolen. There are conversations that involved you where decisions were made without your knowledge, where others decided your fate as if you were not even alive. There are individuals who smiled to your face and spoke as though they cared, but in the secret of their heart they rejoiced when they believed you would fall. God says, you were wrong to believe all of them, but now He will not let you remain blind. He is pulling the curtain down, exposing the play behind the stage, showing you who the actors truly are. Do you remember the moment you doubted yourself? The moment you thought, maybe I deserve this pain, maybe I was meant to suffer this way, maybe I will never get out? That thought was not from God. That was the lie whispered to you to keep you down, to make you surrender, to make you stop praying. You were wrong to believe it. The truth is, you were meant to rise, you were meant to conquer, you were meant to walk in authority, and the battles you faced were only meant to sharpen you, not to destroy you. But you believed the lies for too long. You believed the voices that told you you were not good enough, not chosen, not loved. You believed the false image they painted of you. And God says, open this immediately because the truth is coming to break chains off your life. This truth is uncomfortable. This truth is heavy. But this truth is holy. God says, there are names you thought were loyal, but He will show you what they did in the shadows. There are places you thought were safe, but He will reveal the traps hidden under the surface. You were wrong to assume that quietness meant peace. Sometimes quietness hides danger. You were wrong to think absence of conflict meant safety. Sometimes silence is the greatest strategy of those planning to destroy you. And this is why heaven intervened, why Michael has been restless over your life, why angels have been pushing this urgent message into your spirit. Do not ignore this. Do not say, maybe later. Every second matters. Every breath is a countdown. When heaven says, open immediately, it is because timing is not in your hands, but in the divine clock. Something has been triggered already. A chain reaction is in motion. And your response determines what happens next. You cannot afford to be wrong again. God says, you were wrong about who truly loved you. You were wrong about the one who said sweet words but never meant them. You were wrong about the one who left you thinking it was your fault, when in truth it was a scheme against your life. You were wrong to think that your prayers were not being heard. They were heard, but heaven was waiting for this exact moment, this divine alignment, to reveal the truth to you. And now God says, this message is the evidence of His love, the proof that He has not abandoned you, the confirmation that you are seen, known, and protected. You may feel a heaviness as you read this. That is because the spiritual weight of this message is pressing against your spirit. Do not run from it. Let it sink in. Let the words of God pierce deeper than the lies you believed. Let the truth uproot what was planted in you by deception. Because once you open your spirit fully to this revelation, you will see how wrong you were, and how merciful God has been. God says, you were wrong to think you had no enemies. You were wrong to think that because you never harmed anyone, no one would harm you. That is not how the world works. Light attracts attack. Favor draws jealousy. Destiny provokes warfare. And though you thought your silence and goodness would shield you, God says it was His angels that shielded you all along. Had it not been for Michael and his armies, the arrows meant for you would have already struck. Had it not been for divine intervention, the plans of men would have succeeded. Had it not been for God's mercy, you would not even be alive to read this. That is why He says, open it immediately, because your life is not a game, and your future is too precious to be gambled with ignorance. God says, you were wrong, very wrong. But now is the time of correction, restoration, and revelation. Heaven is moving quickly. The truth is being delivered. The signs will appear suddenly. The exposure will shock you. The names will surprise you. The evidence will be undeniable. And you will weep, not because you are abandoned, but because you will realize how close you came to destruction, and how powerfully God pulled you out. This message is long, it is deep, it is urgent, and it is written in love. It is written so that no one can say they were not warned. It is written so that you will no longer remain blind. It is written so that heaven can close this chapter of silence and open the chapter of truth. God says, you were wrong, very wrong. But if you listen now, if you open your heart immediately, everything can change. If you believe in God, type Amen. My beloved child, God says this message is for you and only for you. You may have felt lately that something is weighing on your spirit, like a heavy burden you cannot explain, like a shadow you cannot push away. This is not a mistake. This is not random. It is the hand of God reaching for you, pulling you closer, calling you by name. You must open your heart immediately because this is not the time for hesitation. God says you were wrong, very wrong, but even in your wrongness, His mercy has not abandoned you. His love is greater than your mistakes, and His protection surrounds you even when you cannot see it. The truth is that He has been watching, He has been waiting, and He has been longing for this moment where you would finally hear Him clearly and understand that His message is urgent. Do not be afraid of these words. God is not here to crush you, He is here to raise you up. What you have done wrong is not greater than His ability to forgive. What you have missed is not greater than His ability to restore. Every wrong step, every wrong choice, every wrong path you walked on, He saw it, He allowed it, but not to destroy you. He allowed it to shape you, to bring you back to this place where you finally see that without Him you cannot survive, but with Him nothing can defeat you. You may wonder, what does it mean that I was wrong? God is revealing to you that there were moments you doubted Him, moments you placed your trust in the wrong people, moments you leaned on your own understanding instead of His divine wisdom. He says you were wrong when you believed that certain people loved you unconditionally, because in secret they were setting traps against you. You were wrong when you thought you had to carry every weight on your own shoulders, when He was standing ready to take it from you. You were wrong when you believed you were not enough, because in His eyes you have always been more than enough, chosen, precious, and beloved. But listen closely, though you were wrong, God says it is not too late. His mercy is new every morning, and today He says you must open this message with urgency because your life is about to shift. Something you have been blind to is being revealed, and the wrong steps of yesterday are about to turn into the right direction of tomorrow. He says that even though you walked in darkness, He has sent His light to surround you. You are safe, rest assured. Nothing will go wrong with you when you place your trust fully in Him. God says, do not fear the exposure of your mistakes, for He is covering you. Do not fear the plans of those who gossip about you, for He is silencing them. Do not fear the accusations of your enemies, for He is already defending you in places you cannot see. The wrong choices of the past are not your end, they are the beginning of His testimony through your life. Every tear you have cried is being counted, every prayer you have whispered in the darkness has been heard, and every moment you thought He was silent, He was actually preparing something greater than you could imagine. He says, you were wrong to believe you were forgotten, because He never left you. You were wrong to believe the delay meant denial, because the waiting season was preparing you for abundance. You were wrong to believe your story was finished, because He is only now turning the page to a new chapter. And God says this chapter is urgent, it cannot wait another day, it cannot be postponed. He says, you must hear this now, because the door He is opening for you is about to appear suddenly, and if you are not ready, you might miss it. You may feel afraid. You may feel unworthy. But hear the Lord's voice, my child, do not be afraid, for I am with you. Rest assured, nothing will go wrong with you, because my hand is upon you. I will not allow the enemy to triumph over you. I will not allow your wrongness to destroy the destiny I placed in you. You are safe in me. God says, your prayers have not been wasted. Even the prayers you thought were ignored were being stored up, waiting for this moment of release. The heavens have been stirred by your cries. Angels have been dispatched to fight for you. Archangel Michael himself has stood guard over your nights when you felt alone and restless. When you thought the darkness was about to consume you, God was whispering, wait, my child. Wait, because your miracle is closer than you think. He says you must trust Him now more than ever. Do not lean on your own understanding, do not be distracted by what others say. The same people who mocked you will see God lift you. The same people who betrayed you will see God vindicate you. The same people who turned their back on you will see Him bless you in the open. And you will know that every wrong you carried is being turned into right by His mighty hand. This message is not casual, it is urgent. God says open it, receive it, and act upon it. Begin to pray like never before. Begin to trust like never before. Begin to let go of fear like never before. Because what is about to happen for you will not be ordinary, it will be extraordinary. The wrong things are being made right. The broken pieces are being restored. The hidden traps are being destroyed. Even now, heaven is moving in your favor. Even now, the angels are clearing the path. Even now, your name is being mentioned in places of blessing. Even now, your tomorrow is being written in glory. And all God asks of you is this: trust Him, pray to Him, believe in Him. Rest assured, my child, nothing will go wrong with you. You are safe. You are protected. You are loved. God says you were wrong, but His love is making it right. And the time to receive this truth is not tomorrow, not later, not someday, it is now. Open it immediately, hold it close, and let your heart be healed in His presence. This is His urgent message for you. If you believe in God, type Amen.